Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Um, I had a good time over the weekend. I went to see Doctor Strange twice. Yes, I'm that much of a Marvel nerd. Been that way for a long time. Well, today I think what I'd like to do is work on kind of the back of the car here, kind of seal it up maybe, and the front here, kind of bring the hood to a an edge there. But also, what I need to do is kind of finish up this tail back here. We've got these pieces here, and also I need to work on this door handle and think about what I want to do for the key holes here and for the one on the back. I will probably use geometry for those. I could use a texture, but well, we can try. I think I'll add some geometry and see how we're doing. Currently, we're almost to 11,000 tries. I don't think that's too bad, honestly. I'm going to keep going and adding more and see where we get. And if there's a problem, if I feel like it's too high, I can always go back and clean it up, remove some edges, do a little optimization. Let's start getting to work. How about this tail back here? Let's go ahead and finish this up. Um, what I was thinking too is that maybe it needs a little bit of a curve bevel on the edge here. It looks like it's got kind of a curved edge there. So I'm just going to select this edge and let's try the bevel tool on this. So Control B, hold the Shift key down, and let's see what we can get. It's not doing too well. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. Let me try and wake up my numpad. There it is. See how this is kind of flat? That's not a good thing. So what I'm going to do is apply the transforms for rotation and scale. Actually, I don't need rotation. Let me just do it for scale. Let me do that. Then if I come back here and hit Control B and bevel this, now let's take a look at this. Now we can see it's more of a proper kind of a bevel there. So I think I'll just add, well, let's see. Is one going to be enough? I know you're thinking, whoa, that's too many edge loops or too many edges, and it may be. Let me take it down. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, just to give it that bit of a curve there. I think that looks kind of good just to catch a glint of light there. All right. These things here, what in the world are these? They're kind of, oh, are they cylindrical? Man, it's hard to tell. I think they're just thinner than they are thick. Let me go to my rear view and take a look at this here. Yeah, it looks like they're pretty thin. So, okay. What do I have here? Here's the tail as it is now. Let's go ahead and create. Let's go with a cube. I don't need the top or the bottom of it, do I? I can get rid of the top and the bottom faces. Now let's go and put it in place from the back view here. Scale it down in the X, put it over here, see what we can do with this. Let's move it from the, there we go, let's move it back, try and get it in place here. Oh, it could probably be quite a bit smaller, something like that. Let's go to our quad view. Yeah, I think something like this. So what I'm going to do is take that edge there, right there, let's bring it down so it's just barely intersecting with that, and then grab these and move these up. There we go. Now I can maybe bring back, what else do I have here? Oh, there we go. We don't need all this down here. So let me select that edge and bring these up a bit. There we go. Now, as I said, it looks like it's kind of has an edge there, is angular. What I think I'll do is just insert an edge loop in here and maybe expand it out a bit, just S and X. I say expand it out a bit, but it didn't work. Why didn't that work? That works. Oh, because I need an edge on the other side as well. I took the top and bottom off of that, so the edge didn't go all the way through. That makes sense. Sometimes I forget what I've done only moments before. I think that's a common thing. I'd like to think so. Instead of it's just me getting old, I'd like to think it's a common thing. There we go. All right, so we've got something like that. That looks a little too thick. Let me try this. Yeah. Let me bring that in just a bit more like this. And let's try that. There we go. I'm going to smooth it. I say I'll select it and then smooth it. There we go. So now we've got that kind of angled piece. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. It looks pretty good. Let me put it in place here. Well, we can't see it there. Where can we see it? We can see it over here, can't we? All right. Duplicate it, X, move it over here. All right. Now, let's see what we have here. What do we have here? We've got, oh, the rear view mirrors and the car. So I'm going to take the tail here and the rear view mirrors and just move them over to the first frame. And you know what? I don't have my screencast keys on. My apologies. Man, I always forget that. There we go. All right. Thank you. Yep. Somebody mentioned on the chat here that they said that my picture on YouTube does not look the way I look. Well, yeah, it's an old one. I got to admit that needs to be changed. The problem is all the pictures now are just I'm not usually in pictures of the family. I'm usually the one taking the pictures of the kids and everybody, so I'll have to look into that. That's a good point. All right, what else? Let's take a look at these door handles here. I bet we can work on that pretty easily. Let's see where they're supposed to be. Over here. Yeah, I'll just put my cursor right there. And it looks like what we need is a cylinder, kind of flattened. And then we can extrude faces up off that cylinder and then out like that. Let's try that. Let me zoom in over here too so we can kind of see it. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is here's the cylinder that we're going to create. And then we'll extrude up and then out. And then from those faces, then we'll extrude over and then back to connect it there. All right, I don't know if it's going to work, but let's give it a try. That's the fun part. Let's give it 12 maybe. I'll go ahead and give it a triangle fan, RY90. And then let's go ahead and scale it down. zoom in here. And let's flatten this in the Z like this. So we get this kind of a shape here. Let's now, does it need to be that thick? I guess it doesn't matter if it's that thick now, does it? Let's go ahead and hit the C key and choose these faces to get rid of them. And maybe these, although it looks like it extends on out to here. I'm kind of looking at this area right in here. And let's try this. Let me scale it in the X sum. It doesn't need to be that thick. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to hit E and pull straight up in the Z. Okay. Then this top part needs to be pretty well flat now, doesn't it? So I'll pull that up a bit and then hit S and Z and scale that like this. So that's pretty flat. Now let's, all right. So then, now we can extrude this out, but we need to, I think, add an edge loop right in here, like that. So this is what's going to extrude out. I think I'm going to need to pull out first and then extrude. So let's try that. I'm going to go back to my side view here, see how I'm doing. Yeah, that's okay. So let's hit E and Y and let's move this out to here. All right. And then let's try, oh, I don't know. I'm going to try this. Let's try grabbing these edges here and pulling them straight out like that. All right. Once again, I'm kind of winging it here just to see how it works. Sometimes it works for me, other times it doesn't. I go into a black hole of of not being able to create the object I'm trying to create. But that, I think we're going to be okay there. Now let's grab these and let's extrude in. And then I'm just going to go, well, I'll just extrude in, I guess. And I don't know, let's try this. Is this going to be too much? Is this going to be too many polys here? Probably. Still not too bad though. Let me get these and pull these down a bit. What did I do? There we go. All right. I mean, that might just work. The problem is I'm gonna need I need this part. Oh, I see. I really needed to put an edge loop here and only extrude out half of this because this goes all the way back to the car. So I needed really an edge loop here, right? Yeah, see, there I go. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of these. That should work. Get rid of those. I don't need all of this back here either. This is all going to be in the car. There we go. Get rid of those. Now, I could close these up. I really should close this up. So I'll do that. And then I need to extrude back. So probably, it looks like here maybe. Something like this. Okay. And just so it's easier for me, I think I'm going to go like this. Just so I can extrude it easier. Like that. Now, let's flatten it in the X. And let's extrude back like this. And now, oh, it looks like I have an extra edge there. Yeah, I didn't cut it right where I needed it to be. I do that sometimes. Let me cut it right here. And right there. Really? There it is. Okay. Now, scale on the X, extrude back, and it looks like it's got this kind of flare out, like I could take, oh, I don't know, these two, or maybe this whole face here, and scale it in the Z like that, so it kind of flares out like that. And maybe take this edge and bring it in just so it kind of flares out like that. Yeah, something like that. Let's try this. Before I do any more, let's put it right on the car and just see how it looks from a fair distance away. Well, that's a problem. Let's move this out to here. There we go. All right. So it looks to me like I need to grab this edge, pull it out a bit, like this. Now let's see how this works. I think I'll smooth it. See how it works. Not too bad. I don't like how blocky this part is. From the top it looks awfully blocky. I think there's more smoothness to it in there. We might be able to grab these and move them in a bit. We could maybe rotate this around the Z, so RZ, and kind of tilt it a little. Maybe could try the same thing over here. Like that. All right, let's give that a try. Oh, I don't like that. How I've done that. Well, yeah, let's get that. It's okay, but I'm not wild about it. I'm really not. I think what I'm going to do is go with it for now and kind of see, once again, try not to get too critical up front here. Let me bring that up like that. And we'll kind of take a look at it in view of the overall car as we go here. All right. So let me mirror it over. I'm going to move the origin to the 3D cursor. Going to give it a mirror modifier. Of course, it's way down here, and that's because our rotation is here. It isn't zeros, so I can apply the rotation, and that pops the mirror back over here, the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. That's as I say, you know, it's kind of the 3 foot rule. How's it look from a distance here? It doesn't look too bad, but I'm not wild about it, honestly. I'm really not. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to sit here and noodle on it for the rest of the afternoon. And I shouldn't do that. I should keep moving and come back to it if needed. Right? Right? Yes. Okay. I'll come back to it. Okay. So, let's see. Just taking a look at closing the hole in the back. Yes, we're going to do this. Where do I live? Why do you want to know? No, I live in Wisconsin. And I used to live in Los Angeles and Kansas City, in Rhode Island. I lived in Oklahoma, but now I'm in Wisconsin. Let me see if anybody else has anything. Let's see. No. What is your impression for the future of gaming and the next AAA titles? Wow. I don't know. I was just actually talking to someone the other day about kind of what we were in store for with the Nintendo Switch, and how that, if that is going to change the way we view gaming, because ultimately processor speeds are gonna catch up with all of us here. I know we talk a lot about poly count currently and about optimizing our games because we have to, but I really feel like that's going to be a concern of the past in the not too distant future. And the Nintendo Switch just looks interesting to me. I mean, is that going to work? I don't know. If people wanted games on their handheld device, wouldn't they just get it on their phone? I'm not sure. It looks really cool, and of course I want to play with it, but I'm just curious how that's going to work. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put anything past Nintendo, of course. I'm not going to I'm not going to pretend I know better than they do, but I'm just wondering, how's it gonna work? And in terms of the future of gaming and AAA games and stuff, I look at my kids, and they're just so used to swiping. They're so used to just actually, touching a screen, and they're really not used to using game controllers. They almost see a game controller the way I see like an album, like an LP album. It seems, old-fashioned, and to them it almost seems like it's, that's what old people use to play games. I don't know. I just don't know. It's going to be interesting. What I'm trying to do here is trying to get a sense of how this trunk is going to flow, and these fenders here are going to kind of connect with and link up with the bumper here. So that's kind of what I'm playing with here now. trying to get a sense of how this is going to work. And I'm going to have to do this up front too in the for the bumper up front as well. So let me just, it looks to me like I might be able to take these and just begin moving them in toward the bumper just a little bit, like this. And then ultimately I'm going to have to like select this whole edge and extrude in. This may be something I should do like off camera, because this can't be real interesting. I mean, I find it interesting because I'm doing it. But so let's see. Let's take a look at how this looks. I think I need to somehow get these guys in line with these guys here. All right, so I'm going to scale this in the Y, S and Y. Kind of move these in like that. And then I'm going to pull them forward and begin kind of angling it down. Let's go back to the side view here, like this. Like this. And sometimes there's just no easy way to do this. Sometimes you just gotta grab the points and make it work. Let's see. So I think what I'm going to do is take this down like this and then fill in that gap. Let's try it. I'm going to extrude and move down to here, let's say, and rotate like that. Let me try this. Extrude this and rotate it down, or bring it down. Come on. Try that again. Hit the R key, not the E key, and bring that down like that. Then let's do one more like this. There we go. All right, so I think what I have is something like this, hopefully. And now I can kind of begin to bring these back a little bit like this. And my hope was that I could connect these up relatively easily. Let's see. There we go. Now, let's see if this will work. Move these out, and let's give it a try. All right, so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and merge these together. So I'll take those two, Alt-M, at last, and then do these as well. Alt-M, at last. Now, kind of get these in line. There we go. Let's try that. Let's see how that works. Yeah, okay. We've got a little bit of an edge here. Oh, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's a 4-sided polygon. That'll work. Should work. Try and get these. But yeah, that should work. There is a tool in the Edge Tools thing that I might be able to use here. If we scroll up here, let's see. Here it is, Loop Tools. Let me see if I can get that so you can see that. There we go. This is an add-on that you can add on under user preferences, add-ons, and you can type in loop tools and add this loop tool here. What I like about it, there are two things I like about this a lot. One is the circle. It'll take a selection of vertices and try to make a circle out of them. And the other one is relax. And so what I'm going to do is try and select some of these points here, try and relax them a bit and see how it works. Doesn't always work, but sometimes it helps. So I'll select these and relax. Now, too many points. Let me just try a couple of them here. Yeah, something like that. So sometimes you can get this to work to, whoa, that's too much. Something like that. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know if it's going to be a great help to me here, but sometimes you can get it to work and get that to smooth out a bit. All right, let's take a look at this. So we got the back there and the fenders kind of coming in with the bumper. We may need to clean that up a little more. What I said before was that I might do is select like this edge here, and well, let's go ahead and bring this one toward here as well. Looks like I need to bring that one in just a bit, and all of these as well. These all come down like that. Okay, so I might take this edge here and go ahead and extrude it in. I'll wait for these. There we go. All right, so now let's try this. I'm going to hit E and I'm going to pull in just a bit. I'm going to scale in the Y and the X. S, Shift Z, and then scale in just a bit. See if that helps at all. And kind of seal that up. We'll see if it works. So I'll just go in and pull these around and kind of seal that up just a little bit. May need to do a little bit more, but that's okay. Oop. There we go. So I'll do a little bit more of that sealing up as well here. And I'll need to do that for the trunk. And one of the reasons why I'm keeping everything all kind of individual pieces, one is that I really like modeling like it was manufactured. In other words, you know, this was manufactured in pieces, and I really try and look at it and see, you know, how it was created in the manufacturing, as it was being put together, and that's kind of what I try and imitate here as well. Just seeing how it works with a bit of a bevel on it. Oh, that's not too bad. All right. Let's take a look at this up here. Let me move this. Let's work on this area here. How am I going to get this stuff connected? Let me open up another image here. Something like this, maybe? Yeah, something like that. This is going to be interesting. So okay, now these kind of curve in just a bit. All right, and this now. Save. So for the hood, I can, it looks to me like, I think I'm just going to extrude down. See, you've got this curve here, which is kind of nice, down to the top of that grill. Let me go to the side view here. Yeah. So I could take this piece. Let me see. Take this piece and then extend it down to here, like that. We've still got a mirror modifier on it. Into there. Let's see how that works. Yeah, so I'm just trying to kind of bring it in and tuck it in right into this little ridge here. There we go. Seal that up. All right. This, I kind of want to seal that up right in there. Now, all of this here, this is its own thing over there. So I think I just want to seal this up here. It looks like it goes in and back. Kind of a difficult thing for me to kind of visualize is the problem. It's almost like I need another edge in there. But yeah, well, and I've got this ridge right here that I haven't really done anything with, have I? So I've got this little ridge. Yeah, I didn't do anything with that. This right here. So that would help me there, actually. That would help me there. Instead of moving this over, I could go ahead and add that edge loop that would allow me to pull that up a bit. Let me do that. There's that. I'm going to rotate it just a bit, like that. There we go. All right, so now this is the edge loop, right? That's going to need to come up. And then so is the, or does this one need to come down? I think this one needs to come down, actually. Let's do that. Because, yeah, I think that needs to come down to here. There we go. So we're getting a little bit more of that indentation there, right there. So let me RZ and rotate just a bit, like that. Okay. Yeah, okay. We're going to need that for a couple of different reasons. Okay. All right. Well, this is awfully kind of tedious work here. But it needs to be done. I mean, you can't just leave it undone. But let me go back. Yeah, okay. So I think we're beginning to get this here. Let me see. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is use these two edges here. One to kind of go along the side of this, right there. And the other one to come down and connect with the headlights. You know what I mean? If you do, that's good, because I'm not sure I know what I mean. Let's try it, though. So I'm going to grab these two here, extrude down just a little like that. And then this one, I'm going to go ahead and begin pulling back and scaling in the Y like this. So it kind of comes like that, right? And then I could grab this one and extend it on down. So extrude, pull this on down. Let's try this. Now, yes, we're going to have to do some more adjusting, but I just want to block this out, get it in my head, what needs to be done here. There we go. Okay. All right, that's a little crazy, but yeah, that's going to work, I think. I think I'd like to slide this edge down a bit. Edge slide. Something like that. Get those in line a little bit. So if I'm going to do that, maybe I'll do it here too. All right. Oops, don't do that. No, don't do that. Okay. And then we need to do this as well. This here could probably come back just a bit. And then we can extrude that down, I think. That didn't work out the way I'd hoped. There we go. So let's try this. Should this go all the way down? Should this go all the way to here? It's one way to do it. And then we could take these edges and move them forward, or extrude them forward, I should say, down into that. Let me scale it in the Y. And then I'll just have to do a little point pulling here. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why didn't he do this? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do this or that? Well, probably because I didn't think of it at the time. Yes, there are a lot of other ways to do this. And I don't like this particularly, what I'm doing here. I may have to go back and say, now let's take another look at this. But, you know what? That's okay. That kind of testing it out, seeing how it works, trying it again, that's not such a bad thing. Right, and then let me try this. Nope. I'm going to grab this and move it forward, and then connect them up. All right. So now this really, I almost feel like that I need one more ridge in here for them to come in. Let me try something here. I'm going to try and bring these out like this. And I'll do it with these first. I almost want to take all of this and extrude it and pull it in a bit, like so. Just to try and let's try this. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of not real pleased with that, but I think I'm going to come back on another day and take a look at it and say, what else could I have done here? And if you have ideas what could have been done, two things: help me, and also that's awesome, because the more you can see other people do things and get your own ideas about how to do it, the better off you are, you know? All right, so let's take a look here. Not terrible, but as I said, I'm going to probably come back and take another look at that and see if I can get that a little bit cleaner. Let me smooth this up here. See how that works. It's not bad. All right, so we got that, and we got that. We kind of closed up the holes there on the front. Now over here we've got kind of a mess because this this piece here isn't quite in the same location, I think, as this. I could mirror this over and probably get a better fit. Let me try that. I'm going to take all of this stuff here, and for now I'm going to hit Control J and join those together. And then I'm going to take that origin and move it to the 3D cursor, and then I'm going to mirror it over like that. And yeah, so now we've got a better fit there around the front. Okay. So I think tomorrow we might be able to seal up all of this around the windows, and then close it off on the wheel wells and underneath, and we'll be pretty much done with the exterior of it. There's probably some things I could do for the interior, like just basic seats and maybe a steering wheel or things like that. I know we aren't ever going to see in it. We aren't ever going to open the doors. So I mean, we may see in it from a distance, but I know I'm going to want the trunk to open. That has to happen. So I've got to deal with that coming up pretty soon. So there we go. We've got the front pretty much sealed off and the back pretty much sealed off. There is, of course, more to do around here and underneath here, but I don't know. I think we're getting close to having the outside done. All right. So I think we're going to call it a day. I appreciate you joining me here. And I've got to say this, no matter if you're here in the U.S., no matter what your political views are, please go out and vote. The more people we have vote, the more representative it is of all of our views. So please go vote tomorrow. And thanks a lot. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, take care.